I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk?
Dear Lord, we thank you for all that you bestow on us. We ask for wisdom and guidance in making decisions today. And we ask that all the people here gathered have safety in their travels today and always. All these things we ask in your Son's name, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. Lee? Consent agenda is on the board. It has been published. Motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, but I was, hey Jeff, I wanted to ask you on 2005 F-150 they disposed of, Sheriff's Department. You got any idea which truck that was?
It was a black, normal.
It was an
truck.
old one.
It was an old one. I think the motor.
Was it still running?
No.
Okay. All right. And motion?
I'll second that.
I made a motion.
Okay, second? And it's got a second. Okay, any questions? Okay, on that pickup, how'd you salvage that, do you know?
I think Buck sold it,
Okay.
scrapped it.
Scrap it? All right, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Bid opening, will be a little bit semi-formal right now. How many bids do you have? This is for road overlay project. And as I put on there, this is when
Report.
a company will do the actual road construction for us. And when all the bids are open, the companies are welcome to come up and photograph the bids. Leave your ink pen at home, don't be modifying anything. Gotta watch the beef. Got him, didn't you? But you tried.
She's like, I'm gonna get the extra. Man,
Okay, is that all those?
she must be from District
Okay, all
2.
four bids, I believe it was, have been opened. The bidders are welcome to come up and look at them and take photographs, whatever, come on up. We will not act on them, of course, today. And we do really appreciate the bidders. Thank you so much for submitting those bids. We might have to call in the security team.
We may have to. You want me to call him in? Never used my button.
No. We've got an alarm button. One time somebody hit it, when the bailiffs hit that. They had to run across the street, up the steps. Dead eye shot. Life is interesting.
He said, yes, we're good for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, that's the way it used to be all the time.
We will be there. We will get a spot. July 3rd. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. Now, we've got the bid opening for buying asphalt right after this.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Bye. See you.
Appreciate it.
So where are you going?
Oh, I just got mine.
I think there's a deadline.
There is May 7th.
I don't know if that's last year filed or.
My license, I think from that day on, I never got mine. So I got mine, you can have, but if you have your passport, you can use that.
Okay, well, I'm taking my passport with me.
To get your license.
Okay, have a passport.
Birth certificate or something.
Yeah, I took a quick look from first to the
Did you get your mail? Did you get 2 letters in mail from your place?
No, that, okay. Okay, well, I didn't bring it. He said he would. No, he said he's gonna be.
Okay. All he's doing is approving it, right? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, we've already done the bid, they're just approving
Yeah,
it.
he's just approving it. He approved it.
Yeah, I don't have that.
No, it's just a bid approval. I think it's,
I don't have that.
Oh. Okay, so he's.
Dean, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
She made. Hand it to Gary, see if he can. Thank you.
Okay, Jason, you picking those up or what are you doing?
I'm just looking at it.
Well, we need to fill them out and go ahead.
Yeah, they'll take.
Yeah, they'll take him and copy him. You'll want copies. You'll want, yes. I knew you'd know what to do.
Okay, now we'll go into the bid approval. See, the first one's bid opening, this bid approval for actually buying the asphalt and applying it ourselves, road patches and such.
That was for the annual bid, correct? Jason?
This was the the
Yeah,
rebid.
the rebid.
Yeah, annual bid.
That's what.
Okay.
To bid on
So we on that part yet?
So did you have how many bids?
Two.
Two.
those. State accepted two.
Okay, and you've got those. So we need to approve those bids? Okay.
Does he want to talk about recommending? You want to talk
We're
about?
gonna approve both of them.
Both of them?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So, we have two bids from, look like the same place.
No.
Middle
it's
area
the bid
asphalt
sheet.
and lead
The
dump.
letterhead looks the same. Okay, how do we want to present this?
Just make.
That's what you want. I make a motion, we approve the annual bid for asphalt, road and bridge. They're gonna accept both from lead dump materials and middle area asphalt company.
Okay, motion, have a second?
I'll say.
Okay, any questions? Again, this is where we go out with our truck and buy the asphalt and take it out and fill potholes. So, and whatever else needs to be done with it. So we do the work. Okay, any, no questions at all? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay, cleaning supplies bid approval. You have that information?
Yeah, make a motion, we approve the cleaning supplies for the maintenance, and they're going to the CNC and Beaver janitorial as both the bids.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, questions?
That is, there were several things
Yes.
listed, garbage bags and everything, and he,
I think the garbage bags,
Sure.
he went to another source on that.
yeah, he just cherry picked the best ones from the bid, the
Okay.
two bidders.
So, we have motions, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, permission to waive penalty and interest. I happen to know this lady, I've known her for many years, and she even puts up with me, so. But postage delay, it was not her fault, $10.47 refund. Motion, please.
I'll make a motion that we give permission to waive the penalty and interest to Gail Pryor Coleman, account 137660 for $10.47.
I'll second.
Okay, questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
You wanna hear some good piano playing, go to talk to Gay, she's good. I did a little test back first this month about mailing system. I took 2 identical envelopes, you couldn't tell them apart, but in the return address, I hid a little letter U for USPS and a letter A for mailing out of the annex box downstairs. They were identical. I mailed them both on a Friday morning before pre-sort picked up. One at the post office over here in town and one out of there. Friday or Monday, I got the USPS letter delivered. I still don't have the pre-sort. It's 25 days in counting. I don't have it yet, so I don't know what happened there. I want to do another test, a little different size envelope and just vary the test, but try it again.
Well, we need Zoxman because I mail my stuff, I put my own stamps on it, but I mail it through there.
Down there? Yeah, I do that.
MasterCard didn't get the bill this month, the Ameren didn't get the bill this month. Now, all of them were sent about 2 days after they had their strike at the central center up there, and.
At USPS or what?
No, downtown, at downtown St. Louis, that's where both of our mailing pieces supposed to go through, but it's ridiculous. I got my Elks newsletter, February newsletter, Saturday, which is only 2 months late. So I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make the Super Bowl party now. I mean, that's how pathetic our postal department is, and now they want a 5 cent per stamp raise to help with all their efficiency. So
I sent a letter to Florida for that thing about the need a license for HVAC system, and they still have it. They came up for a funeral, and I gave them a letter, the one that you got the notarized for me. I gave them that just the other day because they hadn't received theirs yet, and it's been almost 2 months now, 2.5.
Harold, what's the point you're trying to make with this?
I'm trying to say we have problems with our mailing system in general. Now, that particular letter from Farmington apparently didn't leave Farmington. It was, picked up here and delivered here. Apparently it didn't go through St. Louis. But I don't know what the point is, Rich. It's just that we got a problem.
I think your point, that I understand it, was the difference between the Postal Service and pre-sort.
Well,
That we're paying for.
I'm gonna be
That
running
we're
another
paying-
test and see
that
if
we're
this
paying,
is.
And you said that pre-sort was 25 days and still not delivered, while the local post office delivered in 3 days.
Over a weekend. I know,
So the problem
Well, one
apparently is with pre-sort.
apparently so.
And then I point out that our local post offices are probably not to be discriminated or should be brought forth as being the problem for
In
this.
this case, they did a great job.
And it might be something outside of the local post office, meaning where it's directed, whether it's St. Louis or wherever, Cape Girardeau, wherever it goes. But I think our local post office is as efficient as possible.
And I do think the local post office, most of that's handled in Park Hills, isn't it? Don't the letters go there and then come right back out?
I have no idea.
Is that
I
right?
think they all go to St. Louis.
They do?
Yeah, they're supposed to.
Even the local?
Because Angie is just, she got, what was it, you get the, it was postmarked
We may
December,
get more of these because we've
Yeah.
had people call very upset. They've always paid on time.
and that's a
So
local
they paid
post
in
office.
March, and that's the situation, but Ameren, we were waiting on a $4 million check,
Mm.
and it took 20 days to get here from when after they mailed it.
But it should be pointed out
St.
that your
Louis.
mailing goes through pre-sort.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, no, but they're sending it
But
to
then
you
when they
though.
were sending it to me,
When you
though,
send it to
yeah.
you, right.
Yeah, they were sending it to me.
We're getting,
We don't know who that would be.
yeah, they,
Being sent to us.
right.
I would suspect that
So-
the regional headquarters where everything has to go through, when they went on strike for a couple days because they might be sold to a private entity and then came back and all the mail disappeared, that they may have had something to do with it. I'm not saying anything local, but I'm assuming that mail got sent to Siberia or wherever, because that is where the
I
problem
mean,
is.
this isn't a St. Francis County, this is a national.
It's a national, yes.
problem.
Now, we've already, in the consent agenda, we've already approved mailings of 23,000, is Eric here? Yeah, 23,000 in one mailing, hundreds in another, all through, I guess, that's not pre-sort, is it? Does that go,
It
come
will
here
be,
and go out?
yeah.
So, you know, we've got something to think about. We just approved a lady that didn't get her mail on time.
I just don't know what the other option, because no matter what, everything goes through Presort. I mean, the other option to me would be each office holder brings their mail directly over to the post office and go from there. I mean, and let's be honest, I don't think anybody wants to do that.
To avoid pre-sort.
Yeah.
Well-
I think that's our, I mean, unless there's another option.
Is
I
it
don't know.
improper for us to maintain pre-sort system?
Well, let's do another test.
I mean, I don't
Because
know
we've
what
only
the
been
other
with them
option
for
would be.
how long right now? How long we've been doing them?
Well, we've used Presort for a year, I mean, not.
And they've been
just
doing-
Presort. They've
right.
done our pickup, even when we were doing Pitney Bowes,
Yeah.
they were doing our pickup.
At the time, we thought that was the most efficient way of doing it, cost-wise especially.
Yeah, well, I mean, I said, Presort's been picking up our mail since I've been here in office. We just got rid of Pitney Bowes this year to actually
Mhm.
stamping our envelopes and tracking that way.
Not buying a new machine.
Presort was picking up for us regardless. I think I don't know of any other options we can use for a pickup service. Unless, like I said, each office holder wants to go drop, or somebody collects from all the offices and go drops them off himself at the post office each day. But that's the
Or
only-
then Angie could hand deliver each letter.
All the trades take them.
Sorry.
You know, it is a national issue though, because one of my bidders mailed it on March 5th, and it just came on April 21st to the clerk's office, and that wasn't Presort.
March 5th, April what?
April 21st.
Yeah, that's even
So,
longer
and
than mine.
then we had to advertise in the paper, clerk did.
I can say from the Congressman's office that this is definitely nationwide. We're even having problems with, say, passports being sent from passport centers with tracking, and they're getting lost. So people are having to get their passports redone. We're having to ask the passport centers to reprint passports because they're just lost somewhere. And this is happening, and those are very important pieces of mail with tracking. So just the regular mail, who even knows? So it's a really big problem right now that obviously the Congressman's aware of, and they're working on
I'll
it.
say, even on top of that, it's
Yeah.
not just being late, it's the fraud on top of all this as well. Most of the fraud's coming from these centers where, I mean, they're somehow getting these checks and then they're sending them out from there. So most of your fraud that from banks that there's been studies kind of coming from, it looks like it's coming from the post office. So employees there may be seeing checks, they're copying them somehow, then getting them to the bad guys. So not just being late, there's a lot of fraud.
And there is
on top
a
of that.
huge problem with the St. Louis distribution
Yes,
center.
I think they've already been, I know I've seen a couple articles already where they've been, they've had police go, I mean,
Yeah.
FBI's gone through there, raided everything, and
Okay, well, we talked about a problem, now we don't have a solution to it yet, but,
The postal system needs a complete overhaul is what it is from the top down.
Be so
but, you know,
loud.
they talked about nationalizing
It's
that.
been going on for centuries. It's just not recent. I deal with a lot of mail for the folks out there. And on money orders, if you get a postal money order and it gets lost, you have to wait 90 days and then pay $20-some to get it replaced. You buy a bank money order, if it gets lost, anytime you go to the bank, they reissue a new one at no charge, and it's done with. That's how corrupt the postal system is. So,
Okay. All right, well, there's a problem to be solved. Whoops. Opioid applications we will be getting those applications out. I guess they're ready now. Nick, are they ready now? The new applications?
I don't know if we ever received a full.
I said to Jessica yesterday.
Yeah, it should be up there.
Is that a yes?
If it's not, it will be by the end of the day.
Okay, so if you your group is looking at needing opioid or settlement funds, go to the website, get the application, it's been simplified, get it back into us by May 31st, and the committee will meet in early June. So, get on it.
Gonna say for some numbers there, I know we did the first round last year, then we had that special, round as well, because we received so much out of nowhere from it, but, just in basically a year, we have already allocated just over 850,000 of opioid funds, so.
And-
With another 350 that's gonna be approved,
That 850 was in two different award systems.
and that money's obviously going to the county to help, help this.
All right, well, that's moving along, thank you. Comp time payout plans, right now, okay, we've reduced the maximum hours you can have comp time built up to 80. And some of those already were at 480, some of the rules. So we've reduced everything to 80. Bridget did a study, and this number changes almost by the day, but it would cost us $436,000 to pay out all the comp time over the 80-hour limit. And that's except road and bridge, and you see the numbers there. My point is, these numbers are big. And if this keeps going, we may have to have some employee layoffs to counter this because of budget restrictions. So we need to really take a hard look at scheduling the people's work and getting all that cleaned up and worked. I'm not saying fraud, I don't know that, but just getting the system cleaned up and going. Just an announcement on that. I'm sorry about this coughing. Yeah, you talked about allergies. Yeah. Anybody want to talk about this? Okay, next meeting, right here next week. Correspondence. Excuse me. Public comment. Departmental reports. Sheriff. I woke him up.
When he was up, he was looking at numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got some retirements with the Sheriff's Department. Deputy Dennis Stevens, he's a bailiff over at Courthouse Security. He's retiring after 26 years, so tomorrow will be his last day, so if you see him, wish him well. Also, Sunday, we retired one of our canines, Teo. He had been with us for just about 8 years. Life expectancy or usage is usually 8 to 9 years, so he's hit the end of his career, so he's done a great job. With that, we picked up 2 new canines. They're currently in a 6-week certification training. They'll be dual certified, which is narcotics detection, handler protection, suspect apprehension, and tracking. That's in St. Louis. One of them is a 2-year-old German Shepherd named Onyx. He's solid black. He's a big dog. Deputy Jeremy Bowles, who was Teo's handler, will now have Onyx. And if anybody's wondering what happens with Teo, he stays with the handler, so they're going to have another dog at their house. 2 big dogs. And then we have Defender, who's a 4-year-old Belgian Malinois, and Deputy Andrew Gray will be a new canine handler. That'll get us up to 5 working dogs, so we should have a dog just about all the time. They're invaluable. Let's see, some projects we're working on. We just started a 60-day body-worn camera testing and evaluation. We have 3 cameras right now. They're out in service with deputies right now. That's just one vendor. This is not a budgeted item, but we want to do the testing and evaluation for maybe next year's budget where we know what vendor we want to go with. So we have some other vendors we're looking at also. We started a wear testing and evaluation on new types of uniforms, new materials, new fabrics, different cuts based on gender. We also are looking at outer vest carriers that we're testing. That's to get all that weight off your hips and cut down on officers' back injuries and such. So we've started that. So you might see a little different uniform on a deputy. We have 2 of those in service right now.
What is an outer vest? Is that the bulletproof?
It's the bullet-resistant vest, goes in the outer carrier, and you would wear it over your uniform.
Okay.
These uniforms.
On the outside?
Correct.
Okay.
And it has places where you can put, you know, we're not looking at the SWAT gear, so to speak, but it still looks like a uniform shirt, still blends in. Your undershirt will still have the sleeves, just like the Sheriff's Department with the patches. On hot days, you can take it off real easy, put it back on. So
Okay, thank you.
it does a lot better on your back.
Isn't that what a lot of departments are going to?
Yes, that seems to be the way, like I said, cuts down on your workers'
Are they
comp.
more expensive than a normal vest?
And it's just the carrier. Right now, we wear the bullet resistant vest under our shirt, where this, you just put it in the carrier. Okay, so it's not, I think they're $275, somewhere in there. There are washable, but we're looking at some different colors. We're still going with the deputy tan, but we're also looking at black one. just to
They
see-
have to be fitted to that person.
Correct.
Okay.
And the vendor we looked at shipped us all the stuff, shipped us the shirts to test it out. So we're gonna do a 60-day wear test. We're currently, starting today, we'll be doing the promotional exams and interviews. We had, for corporal, we have 9 applicants that have turned in an interest to be promoted up to corporal, so we're starting those interviews today. And we hope to have someone selected by May 1st. Our inmate population stands at 140. That's 120 males, 20 females. I've been asked how many we can house. We have 194 bed space, so we're starting to fill up, and it's just now starting to get warm. So I think pretty soon we'll be getting close to our capacity. Calls for service this year, we stand at 6,294, and so our weekly calls were 463. So starting to see some increase, people getting out and moving, and having contacts with law enforcement.
I do got one question for you. The vest. Like the vests that you ordered before, do you order them from local or are they out of area?
I think that's on a grant, and I'm not sure exactly who we get those from. I'd have to check with Captain Ryan. I want to say it's a sole source provider maybe that does that type of vest.
And then uniforms, do you get them local or out?
Yes, right now we get them local, and we'll be looking at that as well, due to supply and demand kind of thing.
Okay, any questions for the sheriff? Thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jordan Bridge.
Well, we're just chugging along. So we've been putting in and installing a lot of driveway culverts. We probably did 20 last week, and we got more to do this week. We are starting on replacing the culverts on the proposed overlay roads. There's quite a few of those. We got them delivered, got them staged. The roads have been cut. Probably starting tomorrow, weather depending, because it's supposed to rain for the next 3 days. We're gonna start knocking those out in an order, so once we get the bids awarded, they can start, and we'll just be ahead of them a few days. Hopefully get them knocked out pretty quick. DD is gonna be a little bit tougher because we're taking out those box culverts and replacing them with culvert pipe to widen those areas of the road. Just because right now those header walls are very narrow.
Will you have to close that road while we're doing
Yes.
it?
Yeah, we'll have to close the road while we're doing those.
How big are those pipes? They're big, yeah.
42 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll be doubles.
Are you going to plastic?
Yeah. Yep. The gray plastic, highway grade they call them, and the difference between the gray and the black plastic is the gray's more fire resistant, so if it does catch on fire, it won't completely burn out, whereas the black pipe wouldn't burn completely out. Guy's still patching roads, still doing a little bit of brush cleanup. I know we're finishing up cold water, and then we're on chafing. We're doing some cleanup on chafing. That's about it today. Doing some work in the ditch line on Berry next to Spacewalker. And what happened there is that last big rain we had, it kind of got over the swell and washed it out. And the biggest problem was what Spacewalker at the time used to create that, which was chat. And we all know that chat doesn't stay. Like if it starts washing, it doesn't come back. So we've taken the chat out and we're putting it in dirt. And then we call it in locate so we can realign that ditch, which should prevent any further washouts there.
And then I wanted to say with Jason, we've been kind of I've been utilizing Jason. We've got some roads, we went out and looked. A lot of people don't understand the amount of rain we've got. there's really not a whole lot you can do until this rain slows down a little bit. Cause if you go in and work the edge now, you're just really doing it for,
Well,
it's
yeah.
gonna wash right back out. We're just waiting for the rain to slow up where we can finish a lot of the products. I've been getting calls from people, and Jason, we went out, I know we have a couple out a little south of Farmington here. And I'm not gonna say they're aggravated, but there's just not a whole lot we can do there until this rain slows down. I just wanted them to understand.
Yeah, especially on Feezer where we
Yeah.
just finished up that work and it was fresh dirt, grass hadn't established, so it did wash there. But based on the volume of rains that we had pretty close together, you really can't design a stormwater system to handle that. Cause if you did, it'd be so enormous that
Right.
most of the time you'd be like, why didn't they put in that 50-inch pipe? So you designed it based on, you know, a 50-year or.
Normal
year event.
rainfall.
Right, you know, where most of the time 15-inch culvert will take it, but when you have those, rains that inundate everything, it's gonna get out.
Well, and then also I want to say too, I know I've been getting calls on a couple of project roads. May not get in that system this year, but next year, I think with the equipment we might be looking at, we can do a lot of this stuff ourselves.
In-house, yeah.
In-house, and I don't want them to get discouraged, because this could be a year where if we perfect an in-house way, we can cover more ground next year.
Yeah, especially on your smaller roads and your
Yeah.
subdivision type roads.
Yep.
I mean, that's something we're really looking forward to. I think we can do. I think Jason's overseeing that, so I mean, I don't want them to get discouraged. We just have so much money that we can do roads, and they'll come.
Yeah, and our guys like to work, so, you know, when I talk to them about this proposal, they're excited to see it, so.
I'm known for giving you boring reports. Road pipe, we talk about carrying water. On the upper end of a road pipe, if you cut that end at 45 degrees rather than a straight up and down cut, the 45-degree end will take up to 50% more water than the straight up and down cut. Has to do with laminar and turbulent flow. Yeah, keep that in a minute, so you might need to know that, yeah.
No, that's gonna come in handy though.
Yeah. Okay, I just
And-
throw that
and
out.
We're doing residential too, and a lot of people don't opt for it just because of the cost, but if you put a flared end
Yeah.
on your upside too, it really helps keep those leaves from getting compacted in there.
Because the water stays more laminar flow.
It funnels it into the pipe.
Right.
But a lot of people, you know, when you're already buying a pipe that's $400 to say, hey, you wanna buy this flared end section for $200? Cause we'll put it in, but we won't buy the pipe.
Okay.
The rains we've been getting, the 6-inch rain,
Well,
here we don't have a pipe, it'll take
10
a
to
lot
12
of
inches on that
rainfall.
one.
Well, I guarantee when you get your calls, snow
Yeah.
and water.
Okay, any other questions, Road and Bridge? Thank you, Jason. I didn't call you Ralph or anything this
I
time.
know, you got it right down.
Usually starts with a J.
Okay, any other departmental reports?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you all.